Hello everyone. We're going to do a little floral typography, or in graphic design it's actually called an integration, where we're integrating text and maybe in this case a rectangle into the flowers so it looks like it's weaving in and out of text and the rectangle. Now you can see here that I want you to open up your flowers and vase, and I want you to go through this tutorial first so you can see what it's like, and then you're going to create your own based on another image and other text. That's what you will hand in. So now I have this flowers in vase. It's a PNG file. You can see it comes with transparency. And what you need to make sure that when you do create your own, that you are searching. So you can go here to Tools, make sure it's a large size. And I just clicked on transparent to see if I could find some transparent images of a hamburger. And some might fake you out and they might not actually be transparent. I'm going to click on this because it says it's a PNG file. I'm going to click on this, and this would be it. And when I click on View Image, and if you don't have this here in Google Chrome, just search up View Image Google Chrome, and you'll be able to load this very, very quickly. Then when you go back to images, you're going to probably have to restart or just close that one window and open it back up again and type in hamburger or whatever you want. And then when I click on View Image, I can see right now that this is going to be a nice transparent image, and I could do an integration with this if I wanted to. Okay, now for the actual process. So I'm bringing this in. I think the first thing I'm going to do is make a colored background. So I'm going to make a new layer and drag that layer underneath. And then I'm going to go to my gradient tool. And here I can set the gradient for whatever I want. Mine is a real dark brown to a lighter brown. If I wanted to change this, I can just double click on these stops and I can change that color to whatever I want. I am going to keep that a little bit darker and click OK. And now also I am on the radial gradient. With the radial gradient, I can start out with my cursor in the middle and drag a diagonal. And then I'll get something like this. Now you can see that I did have that checked to reverse. So the lighter part goes in the middle and it gets darker as it goes out. And that's pretty nice. Now to actually start my, my integration, my floral typography, I'm going to click on my uppermost layer and I'm going to come down here to the rectangle tool. On the rectangle tool, I want to make sure first of all that this is set to shape. Fill is set to none right here, and stroke, I'm going to make this a white stroke, and then I'm going to zoom out a little bit and I'm going to drag a rectangle, and I can move this later if I want to center it. Okay, so now you can see it comes on its own layer. Then I just come up here to the sizing and I can crank this up to the sizing that I want. And I'm kind of happy with that. Now if I did want to center this, I can just come over here, Command click in my background layer to get that selection all the way around. And I'm on my rectangle layer, and then I'm just going to click this distribute, can't remember what it is, center, vertical centers, and then this one, horizontal centers. So that one now is perfectly centered, and a Command D to get rid of this. You can see that it doesn't really look all that good because my vase wasn't centered. Now I could take and do that again with my vase and see what if this works out. And now my vase is centered. You can see I have a problem here because the vase is just not quite where it should be. I am going to just place that right about in there though. That should be good. Alright, to start my integration, my floral typography, I'm going to actually make some letters. And in this case, I'm going to make, I'm just going to type in love. I'm going to type a capital L. Go to my move tool and I can move this around. I'm going to hold down Alt and just drag this out again. And I'm using a big bold font. It's called Futura Bold. You can decide on what font you want to use. but the bold fonts tend to work better. And I'm going to go back again here, and I'm going to drag out 4 letters for the word love. Go back to my type tool, change that to a capital O, and click out of that and get over here and get a V, and then come back here and make this an E. And then I can kind of place these wherever I want. Go to my L, bring it in, my O, bring it in tighter, my V, and my E. I can place these wherever I want. It's critical that you get them placed before you go on to the next step, exactly where you want them. So maybe I'm happy with this, okay? And then I'm going to take all of these, I'm going to shift click to select all of these, the rectangle and my letters. I'm going to command G to put that in a group. I'm going to double click that group name and just name it lines and text. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Okay, the first thing you're going to do here, I'm going to put inside this whole grouping, put a layer mask on there. All right. Then, now it's all together. Then I'm going to lower the opacity to about 50% or so I can see through it. Now on this mask, I need to grab my brush tool, and I'm going to make sure that I have a 100% hardness of a brush. The sizing you will constantly be changing through the use of your left and right bracket keys to make it bigger, make it smaller. To erase now on my mask, I need to have black over white. I can hit D on my keyboard. X will make them go back and forth, which you might end up doing. Then I'm just going to zoom in on an area here. I say, okay, this yellow flower here, I want this to come over the top of this line. I'm going to decrease my brush size here, and I'm going to just start to brush it away. I'm going to come all back down here and brush that. Now you can see I made a little bit of a mistake. I'll fix that in a bit. Then I'm going to get rid of all this. Now with making a mistake like this, let's say I make a little bit bigger mistake, all I need to do is change my foreground and background color. Now I need white, and then white will bring that back. I'm going to just come here and bring that part of it back. So there I have that flower. Now I can just take a look at what I've done by putting my opacity back up to 100%, and you can see now that flower is outside of that rectangle. And this is all you do then when you start to work your letters. And I would probably come, hit X so I have black over white, and I might come and I might want this leaf this part of it right here to come through. And maybe since this is a straight line, this doesn't really matter. I can just increase my brush size and get rid of this. I am going to come back in here, hit X on my keyboard to make it white over black, and just make this a little bit better in here. Okay, I'm going to hit Command 0, and again, then I'm bringing that underneath that leaf, and then I would come up here and decide, okay, what else do I want to do? And in this way, you're weaving your text, and in this case, the rectangle, in and out. It's going to take a couple more seconds here, because I'm not going to do the whole thing. This is the process that you need to follow. Okay. And you can see that when I put my opacity back up, and then I would do more of these letters in here to have this kind of weave through. What you're kind of looking for is, I think in most cases it's a good idea to put your letters on separate layers and then just group them all together, and you can work that way. But you know, some of these different examples that I've put on Canvas also, you can see that it's a powerful effect. It looks really good. Get a good image in the background and weave your text in and out. You could use, again, flowers if you wanted. I've just used flowers here quite a bit. But do not use the one that I have given you. I want you to go and find a different one, or actually make this look a little bit more modern, perhaps. Something like this. Okay, this is the integration, and you can see here it's being done with a hamburger, with a runner, vegan with some greens there. Just a little advertisement here. But there's a lot of different options, and this is what I want you to do to take it that extra step further and end up with a really cool integration. So first of all, follow this, go through this with this flowers and vase. Then I want you to go back online and get another image or more than one image, put them together and create your own integration. Good luck, have fun.